Hello and welcome to my presentation. I'm Lisa Armstrong and this is my video on video modeling. The purpose of this video modeling activity is to teach my son Juan the multi-step process of feeding the corals and fish in his home saltwater aquarium. There are 4 learning goals for this activity. 1. Juan will learn what items are needed to prepare fish and coral foods. 2. Juan will learn how to correctly prepare fish and coral foods. 3. Juan will learn how to use a pipette to correctly withdraw water from the aquarium and introduce foods into the aquarium. And finally, Juan will learn how to put away all items after their use. The evidence-based practices I plan to incorporate into this activity are visual supports, social narratives, prompting, and reinforcement. The visual support used as part of the video modeling activity is a lanyard with metal ring containing visual support cards showing the step-by-step sequence required to perform this activity. A social story was written called Fish and Corals Get Hungry, which identifies the need of all living things to eat in order to survive. It also incorporates the same icons used for the visual supports. I created a laminated flip book that incorporates not only the social story of why fish and corals need to eat, but also explains why Juan needs to learn this skill and what items are required, as well as the procedure in order to be able to properly care for the animals in his saltwater aquarium. You will notice that the same icons used as part of the social story are also incorporated into the visual supports. That way, an association can be made from the social story to the visual supports to the actual items needed in order to prepare the food for the corals and fishes in the aquarium. In order to better prepare Juan for this activity, I read the social story next to the aquarium every night at bedtime. We talked about the story, we looked at the pictures, and discussed what we were planning to do soon, which was the learning activity that would be soon followed using video modeling. Juan genuinely enjoyed the social story activity with matching visual support next to the aquarium every night before bed. It wasn't very long before he discovered that the pictures were alike and was able to match them page by page. Prompting. It is expected that the level of prompting will be high given the complexity of this task. Following the principle of least to most, prompting could include anything from verbal and visual prompts to full physical prompts in the form of hand-over-hand prompting. Reinforcement for this activity will be limited to verbal praise such as "Good job, Juan," and "Way to go," as well as fist bumps and high fives. Both forms of reinforcement have always shown to work well in the past. The steps that will be highlighted in the video modeling portion of this activity are fourfold. Step 1 will be the retrieval of items needed to feed the fish and the corals. Step 2, identification of all items needed to feed the fish and corals. Step 3, preparation of fish and coral food and proper feeding techniques. And Step 4, the return of the items needed to feed the fish and the corals. I used 3 devices and/or software to create the video modeling module. One was a cell phone Samsung Note 9, taking videos and still pictures using that device. Editing was performed by Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Fireworks, and then an Apple iPad was used to show the video model to Juan.
Hey Mom, the fish are hungry. Can I have this pie?
Of course you can. Here you go.
Make sure you have fish flakes. Make sure you have Reef-Roids. Make sure you have a clean jar. Make sure you have a pipette. Make sure you have a goose teaspoon. Take a small pinch of flakes and put them in the cup. Put a half goose teaspoon of Reef-Roids in the plastic cup with the flakes. Use a pipette to suck up some aquarium water to wet the food. Pour the food back up into the pipette, then squirt the food into the aquarium. Then give the supplies back to Mom and put it away, and you're all done. Hey Mom, I'm all done.